Drizzy22 has reached level 13. Dingalicious says, but what does a box say?
Oh god. Here we go. Here we
Plumpet
go.
says, the world still doesn't know.
Oh, that's hilarious.
Hunter579 says, cow be like moo. Akanu says, fox's gecker. Lawphone says, Lawphone has their eyes on you. Cole from CF1 says, Mom goes oh yeah daddy. Lawphone says, Lawphone has their eyes on you.
Oh yeah, daddy. Oh, that's great.
Narvin says, FK outta here.
Where are you guys? Let's see. I think I'm in the same town as you guys.
Phineas Finn says, 99.98. Kolio says, Kolio has reached level 7.
Colio. There you go. Yo, what up, mate? Your title says no voice chat. Oh, that's funny. Do you want me to go ahead and convert this this stuff to fiber, or you got or linen? Okay.
Brockman says, Brockman has reached level 30. Hergerwas says, what's best way to get XP? Dr. Londoner says, Dr. Londoner has reached level 18. Timbuktoon says, I got my baseline painkiller with my baseline income in my post-Yang universe yeah girl. Eddie Money says, Eddie Money has reached level 16. AIM-D0WN says, AIM-D0WN has reached level 13. Desrosis says, Desrosis has reached level 13.
Sateen crossweave. Cool.
Kawasaki says, great. Our Discord got over 400 members now. You can game talk easy trade, coin items ECT.
Do you need iron? Do you need iron?
We also add company recruitment today.
Iron Ignat.
Don't hesitate, join us now. Discord GG/QJVCFJWBFQ.
Okay.
Oinks says, I flagged like you asked. Cole from CF1 says, LOL true. Cole from CF1 says, haha. Does EFPS says, get wrecked. Oinks says. Ajoa says, Ajoa has reached level 11. Cole from CF1 says, look. Cole from CF1 says, we just wanted you to flag haha. Does EFPS says, smiley face. Rezium says, Rezium has reached level 7. Akanu says, stomp 3DL0L. Oinks says, GG boys. Does EFPS says, GGS. Akanu says, GG. Cordelia says, LMAOGG. Cole from CF1 says, GG. Tomato Nezuko says, how can I look up the world/server we are eyeing at? Narvin says, maggot. Wakanda says, GG. Wakanda says, clapped. Ninja Scroll says, where do I find the enchantment table and bookshelves to upgrade my rapier? Zarg says, Zarg has reached level 17. DazFPS says, 3v8 Easy. Tomato Nezuko says, how can I look up the world/server we are playing at? Enhami says, hunting and skinning goes up so fast. I skinned a LVL 45 boar and went up a full LVL from 194 to 195. Should be turned down a little bit. Oinks says, okay, we heading to dungeons boys, enjoy the questing. Cole from CF1 says, have fun. Akanu says, eat. Akanu says, kill them ebois for me. Hergerwas says, what quests give most XP? I'm at 24 and story missions are level 32. ADDLCTED Fox says, grind. Stitch says, pick up the Des quest. Zanksho says, GG. Van Lon John says, Van Lon John has reached level 19. Ikaligari 2 says, go for the fort guys. Lady EV says, what is the Des quest? GoMavATL says, do the town board. Enhami says, anybody tested maximum range for musket? If you get the zoom perk, can you shoot from super far? Stitch says, easy. Sonork says, beta is almost over, no reason to grind just unless you just love the story. Dimier says, Dimier has reached level 22. Jackie Graves says, when does the beta end? Lahife says, Monday. Vicar Romano says, second. Sonork says, the first or second. Datbif says, tomorrow. Nathan says, he'll go Amreen. Nathan says, one for Amreen. Jackie Graves says, Osh hi I didn't know that. Miss October says, no. Hubert says, story. CPT Crisp says, healer Amreen. Sonork says, you have like 2.5 days. CPT Crisp says, healer LFG Amreen. Dingalicious says, what gem goes into Ice Gauntlet? Full Grown Malone says, DPS LFG dips. Broken Cave says, max range for the muskets is the same for being able to see the name tags, I believe. The zoom perk just lets you see in closer, not see farther. Snakey Accord says, I have 3 open slots. Winky Face. Ithaladin says, DPS LFG Starstone Barrows. Broken Cave says, at least based on its description.
Right. That's funny. Jeez. Oh no. Right,
Jackie Graves says, is Amreen fun? As someone who loves instances, would I enjoy it? Jurgen Fearskin says, yes. Jack Sherborg says, I love taxes.
That's funny. That's hilarious.
Yadinar says, at Jack Sherborg OMG me too.
That's too funny.
Dingalicious says, what gem goes into the ice gauntlet, cause a cut aquamarine ain't it? GAC says, taxation with representation. Jurgen Fierskin says, if you're not flagged for PvP you're playing half a game. Ernstead says,
yeah, I know exactly. But that's like...
Yadinar says, any gem can go into an ice gauntlet, that doesn't do ice damage. Chief 10 says, can't accept my Ravager quest at Weaver's Fen, please help.
I had
Yadinar
no
says,
idea.
That's up
Like,
to
I was
you.
like, oh look, there's some scrap.
Brody Lee says,
anything decent in
the Dark
scrap
Order
pile.
is a PvX but PvP focused company
obliterated.
preparing for launch. Healers needed all are welcome. Drink the Kool-Aid and join the Dark Order Discord required. 18 up DM me, Syndicate. Shmuel says, I love you. Dingalicious says, AHHKK, Max Sense was trying to put Ice DMG in it. Hubert says, imagine gatekeeping. Dingalicious says, makes asterisk.
Oh yeah,
Jackie Graves says, imagine
gatekeeping. All kinds
gatekeeping.
of crazy. That's what I said. It made Conan feel like Conan. It's like on training wheels.
Yadinar says, at Jurgen Fierskin, if you pay full price for a game, can't you play it at whatever % you want? LOL.
Nice. Right.
Chief 10 says, anyone have issues with Marauder Ravager quest?
Damn.
Right. Roman Shaw says,
Right.
any
That's
way to
nuts.
improve run speed?
That's crazy.
Araborna says, I would flag PvP if I actually had a group. Araborna says, being low leveled and flagged for PvP I've
Damn,
gotten
you're running
pooped
across
on.
this landscape like you're playing Octane, man. You're gone. Looked up, I mean, you were like 200 ahead. Now you're like we're up to like 415.
Jurgen Fierskin says, at Yadinar don't speak to me,
Jurgen.
that life staff build you're running
Yeah,
is
no.
hilariously broken. CryptK47 says, LFG for this Emery. Araborna says, hatchet and use Bearzeeker. Chief 10 says, Jeff Bezos please help I'm in
Jeff
trouble.
Bezos, please help.
El Rodo says, Alguna Gils de Habla Hispana. Kawasaki says, great. Our Discord got over 400 members now. You can game talk easy trade,
Game talk,
coin
easy
items
trade.
ECT. We also add company recruitment today. Don't hesitate, join us now. Discord
Love that, he's like-
GG/QJBCFJWBFQ.
Obviously, he's
Zian
not
Trix
a
says,
native English speaker.
Jeff can't help you.
Don't hesitate.
He's not
Join
on
us
Earth.
now.
Lahife says, Jeff Bezos spanks me. Smack. 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 Smack.
Oh, that's funny.
Smack. Smack. Chief 10 says, sad face. I just want to be a Ravager. Sad face. GAC says, well that was a surprise LOL.
Right. It went. Well, I streamed it, so or I'm streaming it now, so you can hear him now.
Uppercut 360 says, LFG.
Okay, we're almost there.
I am extremist says, wait. El Rodo says, Alguna Guil de habla hispana? Maxium says, no W and Asia to wear CTM. Ithaladin says, LFG Starstone. Silk says, it's me my friend, Alguna. El Rodo says, Chilnado. Maxium says, smiley face. Matey says, ESA we. Skinnerd says, Elon me. Kozold says, overall which do you guys think is better, bow or musket?
Right. That's a good point. There we go.
Cole from CF1 says, musket does more base damage, bow has better
So like the
abilities.
first time I did this, people kept doing that. We've been trying to reach you about your car's extended warranty. So I kept doing that like randomly. Hello, we've been trying to reach you about your car's extended warranty.
Full grown Malone says, DPS LFG depths. Hunter 579 says, better answer life staff. Cole from CF1 says, LOL. Motok 0 says, just gonna PvP until beta is over, let me know if you fighting please. Kontaro Shepard says, fuck outta here you teaming pussies. Chief 10 says, any support people out there? Remy Vandra says, I feel like life staff is gonna get nerfed. Kontaro Shepard says, legit 3 props and 3 greens running 1 man down. Chief 10 says, I'm at a loss on this quest, sad face. Vicar Romano says, LMAO. Hunter 579 says, probably, but who cares, I'm not gonna keep any of this progress anyway. Silent Disco says, LF1M depths. Kawasaki says, great. Our Discord got over 400 members now. You can game talk, easy trade, coin items ECT. We also add company recruitment today.
May.
Don't hesitate, join us now. Discord GG/QJBCFJWBFQ. Brandon Leslie says, BPSLF Starstone.
some other random guy over that way.
Winter Cinderos says, thanks. Jurgen Fierskin says, LFM Starstone.
Right as you said that, I looked over there and I just see all these zombies coming running after this. I'm like, oh no.
Jurgen Fierskin says, LFM Starstone.
Should I change anything before we fight?
Brandon Leslie
like
says,
my
LFM Starstone.
life staff or ice gauntlet stuff?
Oxhard says, you ain't getting my taxes, you mustard Nazis.
Okay. There's that corpse in the way. Yeah.
Winter Cinderos says, fuck, backslash.
That's weird. There it is. Cool. Nice.
Zorpo says, ah ha ha ha. Josh 290 Go says, help me, I'm noob, I don't know what to do. Winter Cinderos says, UMM.
Coming.
Matey says, press Alt plus F4. Full Grown Malone says, DPS LFG depths, I have a key. Lahife needs to be revived. Miss October says, live damn you live. Josh 290 Go says, Alt plus F4. That works on this game. I am extremist says, pressing Alt in this game. Matey says, yeah, save the game. Toki Moshi says, whoever I just 1v2 you guys, good fight, GG, you guys lost though XD. I am extremist says, takes away all of the main functions of your PC and converts it to the in-game. I am extremist says, options. Numan says, haha dang, blasted on a 1v2. Josh 290 Go says, thank you for the Alt F4 trick. Smiley face, he'll write it down. Josh 290 Go says, don't got time to try it right now. Matey says, ha 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 okay. It's Gray says, healer LFG Amarine Temple. Angela Murdis says, pretty sure Alt F4 doesn't work in this game. I tried to a few times but didn't let me. Hump says, DPS LFG are mine. Full Grown Malone says, DPS LFG depths, I have a key.
Ooh, I see that guy.
AWW says,
Giant.
LF healer Emery. Fresh Egg says, Musket of the Ranger. Dingalicious says, the power button on your PC works. Melandra says, thanks. Maddox Aiden says, Maddox Aiden has reached level 20. Winter Cinderos says, I just RESP on. Kawasaki says, ZZZ. Melandra says, I have no idea how to emote sir LOL but thank you. Shire Folk says, press P. Matey says, delete the carpet system 32. Onkaro Shefford says, W. Melandra says, hi. Thanks. Winter Cinderos says, should have done that XD. Ben Doverson 3 says, anyone know where I can get Rivercrest stem? Josh 290 Go says, Windows 10 won't allow you to delete system 32. Jurgen Fearskin says, LFM Starstone. Says, excavator safety helmet. Bash Tai says, River Worn Grotto, west of River Hall. Ben Doverson 3 says, time. Winter Cinderos says, turkey on me. Matey says, YW. Broken Cave says, GF. Fresh X says, GG. Ladder Camper says, you can't share mission with your friends in this game. Ringer to Cloud says, I am extremist says, sweet. Jurgen Fearskin says, LF1M Starstone. Orenthal James says, what's good my nicks? Hump says, SEC. Matey says, I don't know. Winter Cinderos says, what are you doing? It's Gray says, Healer LFG Emery. Dingalicious says, running. Stopid Dog says, why are you running? Glorified says, heck. Dingalicious says, to go kill shit. Matey says, coward. Weaver Sven says, GG. Stopid Dog says, OMG so much hemp. Jurgen Pierskin says, LF1M Starstone. Weaver Sven says, GM. Oracle James says,
That's crazy. The loot's pretty badass.
Baba Blues says, okay. JA1T says, sup. Jurgen Pierskin says, LF1M Starstone. Orenthal James says, how are you enjoying the game?
Let's back up.
TJ Coffin says, I'll enjoy it more once all my friends start playing when it actually releases. Ithaladin says, LFG Starstone. Orenthal James says, oh okay that's dope. JA1T says, not bad so far it's good. Orenthal James says, it looks really clean. Orenthal James says, it's refreshing. Full Grown Malone says, LFG, depths, DPS outside of instance with key. Ben Doverson 3 says, this game is a shit. It's awesome. JA1T says, that it is. Akimbo Bears says, love the visual style so far. Not too cartoonish but isn't making my computer melt. Orenthal James says, like there has been no games being made but this one is different. Orenthal James says, I agree. Hamish Bacon says, I like that it looks good even on lower resolutions. Hamish Bacon says, it needs some weather though. Akimbo Bears says, and good timing with lots of people quitting loud.
Oh, is it?
Ben Doverson 3 says, wow sucks so much. TJ Coffin says, I'm not quitting WoW just yet. Orenthal James says, sorry I can't speak poor. Hamish Bacon says, even if they didn't have the issues with the people up top, WoW isn't even fun anymore. It's Gray says, Healer LFG Amreen.
Growing season?
Dingalicious says, I'm still going strong in TBC. Orenthal James says, LMAO na JK.
Yeah, growing
Rurik
season.
says,
Lewin?
so, Chris Chan.
Yeah.
Lotto says,
Back.
LOL Chris Chan. Hamish Bacon says, I played when Shadowlands came out and all it is a race to get you to end game and that's it. It's not about story anymore. Ben Doverson 3 says, someone needs to suck Bezos and get him to keep the beta open. Oraco says, retail has been garbage for years. Orenthal James says, this game is definitely better than Raid Shadow Legends. Orenthal James says, I'm poor so I don't have no games.
Definitely better than Raid Shadow Legends. That's so funny.
Jurgen Fearskin says, WoW has been garbage and Blizzard's been dead since Activision buyout. Ninja Scroll says, GN Gamers. Raven8510TTV says, let's just hope that Asmongold hasn't poisoned the New World player base enough with his negative talk about the game that we have a strong community that will be patient with the devs. Kojima says, Ashes will be better. Orenthal James says, CYA Ninja. D's Nuts Yum Yum says, GF. Zachariah Duncan says, this is one of the first MMOs I've actually enjoyed. I think it will do just fine. Hayanso says, who would anyone listen to Asmon? Dude looks like a chipmunk. Raven8510TTV says, Ash's cash grab is worse than Star Citizen and I own Star Citizen. Carl the Donga says, Ashes
The
will
cash
be better.
grab.
TJ Coppin says, Asmon has a lot of good to say about the game too. Come on, I don't think he's hypercritical. Kojima says, Ashes will be better. The BCA says, where the fuck is our backup? Akimbo Bears says, how could any game be better than Raid Shadow Legends? TM, it's a 10/10. Dancing Bear says, everyone
Just
is
random,
entitled
you know
to
what I mean?
their
Like that
opinion,
was chill. It was
and
like
to
a
being
total,
wrong.
it was a total mistel, but it was
Fresh
perfect.
X says,
you know?
Knack 2 baby. Kojima says, Knack 2 baby. Kaenzo says, people who believe in Ashes forget the Battle Royale version they released to Steam that got all negative reviews. Broken Cave says, like 10 at Brightwood Ford. Full Grown Malone says,
Stomp? It's a
LFM
Stomp,
devs.
right? Yeah.
Hamish Bacon says, I think the problems with WoW game is what a lot of MMOs fall in the trap of. Shaggy Maggie says, taunt. Carl the Donga says, this game feels good for PvP and not much else. That being said, I will play a lot. Suki says, need tank. Hamish Bacon says, and that is not keeping the past releases relevant. Hamish Bacon says, even RuneScape has fallen to this. Toriko says, need tank Amreen.
Yeah, big man's up.
Tanza says, Any groups doing depths? Altrina says, flat S. Hamish Bacon says, SO tackled it perfectly in allowing people to go anywhere when they want to do content at their own pace and still earn XP and things when they do the content. Enhami says, I like that this game is not a constant inventory Tetris mini game like SO. Cynico IE says, WTF. Cynico IE says, okay pal. Miss October says, China #1.
Interesting. A vial of
Hubert
suspended
says,
Azov.
LOL it's not. Dancing Bear says, Enhami once upon a time it was worse XD. Hamish Bacon says, SO you pretty much ought to have premium to play it comfortably.
Oh.
Kaenzo says, which is why I only played SO 1 month at a time LOL. Enhami says, even with SO Plus I was always out of inventory space LOL. Dancing Bear says, at least mats are organized in your inventory now, it used to be just one big mishmash. Hubert says, every single one of my banks is full and I have to juggle it constantly. Hamish Bacon says, I just junk things when I got full or deconstruct. Ninja Scroll says, XD. Kojima says, well retail is better than this shit. Hamish Bacon says, you can also buy bag space in SO though. Kojima says, right guys. Carrot. Sancho says, DPS for Amreen. Hamish Bacon says, it's got some stuff it needs to work on but it's not terrible. The hype needs to be revived.
I just got a bunch of stuff spawned at once. Life staff.
Hamish Bacon says, the devs act interested in making it the best it can be so I feel they will add quite a bit to it. Koriko says, LF Tank Amreen.
Alright, yeah, I'm back. Respec real quick. Oh, gotcha. My bad.
Suzu says, PvP in Brightwood Fort. Beginner Bots says, the movement does seem a bit stiff to me.
Splash of light. Oh.
Miss October says, Miss October has reached level 11. Hamish Bacon says, I will say this is the most I've been captivated by an MMO in a good while, perhaps mostly because of the crafting system. Prankulus says, what? TJ Coffin says, it's stiff but climbing is robust especially in tandem with weapons that have movement abilities like the rapier. Oido says, anyone need a healer for Starstone? Ben Doverson 3 says, I am getting sick of traveling back and forth to this fisherman guy Jesus.
Heals real quick.
Shire Folk says, / Prankulus says,
that one thing
Jonas.
sucks.
Smiley
Is that the orb or
face.
something?
Kojima says, Natpiggle. Ben Doverson 3 says, yeah. Beginner Bots says, why did it spawn me and my buddy in different spots?
That'd be awesome.
Prankulus says, yeah Jonas can be met.
Healing.
Morthar says,
Protector for beacon of
PvP
light.
outside Cutlass. Hamish Bacon says, this game is designed mostly with quests being in clouds. Hamish Bacon says, a weakness I find. Frankulas says, won't be long and he will be done, smiley face.
So I had Divine Embrace plus the thing underneath it that reduces it to 20 mana. And then I had Absolved to get me the zero mana use on my light attack. It's like, okay. Sacred Ground, okay. Do you want? Gotcha. Yeah, I did. Yeah, I should. Okay. Okay.
Lahive needs to be revived.
Got it.
Drewski1 says, GG.
Okay. Got four more. I got 4 more left. So, do I? Oh, I can do Sacred Protection. Okay. Yeah.
Nicotine says, LFG for Emreen. Boido says, LF group of 4 for Starstone, I got the key.
Okay. Okay. And we don't need the Ben Light, the dodging thing for the 20% heal. Okay. And then do we need Splash of Light or okay, got you. I got it. I've got 2 points. Yeah, I've got 2 points left.
Lahive needs to be revived.
Okay. Get you back up. I get you up while they're fighting, I guess. Deal with that thing.
Josh290 Go says, F.
Okay. Ah, Jesus.
Suki says, need 1 forearm.
Jesus. Oh, yeah, because usually the stuff that usually stacks 2 heals on top of each other because they run up on you. Okay. Okay. Oh, for a beacon? Okay. Commit 2 points. Okay.
Lahype needs to be revived. Dingalicious says, what are these used for? Infused bag. Motok Zero says, how about 1v1s instead of 7v2? O'Malley OH says, fighting. Dancing Bear says, butt plugs. Kazu BLK says, Satch. Morthar says, GG at Cutlass only took 7 of you, laughing face.
Okay.
Frostbite says, said the guys who 2v1d me. Frostbite says, QQ more Motok Zero. Morthar says, but SRSLY it was fun, smiley face. Lahype needs to be revived. Cotain says, need healer for Emreen. We have key. Akutho says, something. Nesikrampi says, what area do you fin Tarragon? Nathan says, GF. Hamish Bacon says, in herb patches. Konkuro Shepard says, who's bullying motherfuckers in Cutlass? Hamish Bacon says, I looked it up earlier. Morthar says, we only started 2v1ing after our duels were broken up, sad face. Konkuro Shepard says, the Pirate King will not stand for this outrage. Motok Zero says, we were. Konkuro Shepard says, okay. Konkuro Shepard says, that's fine. Morthar says, thank you. Konkuro Shepard says, carry on Motok. Nesikramti says, yeah in herb patches but different areas give you different rare spices. Motok Zero says. Morthar says.
Yeah, I gotta remember to use my heavy attack. I keep forgetting. That stack
Konkuro
heal.
Shepard says, some syndicate dogs perchance? Morthar says, yees.
Mm-hmm.
Konkuro Shepard says, me and Punas out here bullying too.
Dang.
Morthar says, amazing, I love it.
He reset. That's weird.
Akaris98 says, if you are bullying why are you running? Konkuro Shepard says, because it's just me and Punas vs 7 of y'all. Konkuro Shepard says, spacing is a thing.
Yeah, I'm down.
Motok Zero says, yeah, and retreating is a strat. We still managed to kill some of you 2v7 before you got any of us. The hype needs to be revived. SLXXPY says, please go to Everfall and purchase spears. I'm down bad.
Yeah, mine's too, yeah, I just saw it.
GAC says, are F upgrades down yet? GAC says, the town projects.
I guess I never bought them before. I guess because I'm 20. They start making you get repair kits at 20. Oh, gotcha. Okay, yeah, I haven't salvaged anything. Okay, in a while. So, all right, I'll start doing that. Brown Shield of the Barbarian.
Salol says, I need me a group for Amreen, healer, and DPS. Hunter 579 says, why am I committing so much time to something that won't allow me to keep my items? Sigurd Odinson says, Bow's fun. Motok Zero says, fun. Hunter 579 says, fair.
Weird. See that one. Yeah, there we go. Cool.
Cincinnatus says, what gems can be used for healer build anyone? Scop Team 6 says, where the fuck is the bellows? Friar Grumble says, looking for gems, and Ladder Camper says, when does the beta ends? SLXXPY says, August 2nd. Per3 Copsinian says, beta ends 2nd. Friar Grumble says, 2 amulet salesmen are here for you. Friar Grumble says, meet us in the place where the taxes never lower. Shmuel says, quick little jig.
Right, and try to get them to run through it. Yeah, I'm thinking about swapping it and see the other ones. Yeah, it has a weird cast animation. Like it, oh, I don't have any. Yeah, it like lands at my toes. Like I'll aim up and it just goes, just like that.
Nimalosh says, yep.
Yeah, I can swap it to something. Let's see.
Baguetira Post says, tank/DPS/LFG star snows arrow. Cloudyon says, layered leather adventurer satchel blah. Thanks Napoleon for crafting this bad boy for me. Cloudyon says, layered leather adventurer's satchel. Salol says, LF tank and DPS for Amreen. Hamzigla says, how do I put my weapon away? Many Rex says, X. Kojima says, press X. Hamzigla says, tut. Ronair says, has there been anything about them possibly adding mounts? Hubert says, only that they aren't. Monzol says, is there a crafting station for making satchels? Or do you only find them? Nimalosh says, yeah, THX for group, enjoy the rest of the beta. Hamish Bacon says, interesting, in look up the rest of the pages of Frederico's letters there are islands around this island. Napoleon says, the Outfitters station makes statues. Napoleon says, air satchels rather. Brody Lee says, the Dark Order is a PvX but PvP focused company preparing for launch. Gamers needed all are welcome. Drink the Kool-Aid and join the Dark Order Discord required. Team up DMV, Syndicate. This October needs to be revived.
There's a lot of them. Let's see. Ice Gauntlet. Respec.
Yar says, need one more for Amreen.
I don't. I'll have to get one soon. I should be able to, yeah, I could probably buy one. Yeah.
Salol says, need tank and DPS for Amreen. Hamish Bacon says, oh wait, I misread. Captain Jackass says, tut. Morthar says, back to fort.
It may be level because I've gotten 3 or one blue and 2 or 3 greens since I've been here. I got the 1 blue staff, a green shield, a green chest piece, and then some green medallion thing. Okay, yeah, I get you.
needs to be revived. Salol says,
One hit.
need tank for Emreen. Japanai says, PvP on Brightwoods Fort. GAC says, how many?
Yeah, we got squished by that dude.
Japanai says, like or 7.
Okay.
Japanai says, 6 or 7. GAC says, okay, Amua. Cloudyon says, great axe of the scholar, hatchet of the nomad, ancient spear of the druid, warhammer of the soldier. Any interest please PM, smiley face.
What is it? Windsward? Looks like. Yeah, looks like it's Windsward. But I could go to where y'all going? Yeah, I think I've been there. I think I can probably fast travel there once I go to the other one.
SLXXPY
Yeah, I can
says,
fast travel there.
Void Burn spell staff. Anyone want this? GAC says, reinforced Dryad Guard Helm of the Priest. GAC says, I played Alpha so I'm already familiar with it. It's fun but limited. Curious to see what they add post-release. GAC says, PvP is really the game at 60 TBH. Hunter Goon says, WTH no credit. Lahife says, sure. Cods says, Cods has reached level 8. Synergy says, Synergy dances. Madmison says, Madmison doesn't like that. Madmison says, Madmison sits.
Stat. Ah, bump. Okay.
Mark Ennis says, bind on pickup bro. Wakanda says, all
I
set.
could try fire stuff. I just gotta kill one thing real quick. There's some lady at a farm nearby. Take her out, then I'll have enough points to buy the faction fire staff. Oh, the trade vendor. Ah, I got you. Okay, that's a good call. Magical weapon, fire stave. Gotcha. Okay. And you said what was the other? You said sort by what? The level. I guess GS. Okay.
Serenity Rose says, LFG are mine.
Oh, nice. So 320 fire staff.
Billy Hoyle says, Billy Hoyle has reached level 10. Occidentum says, Occidentum has reached level 10.
All right.
Japanai says, maybe not 6.
Like
More
14.
like 8 or 9 of them. GAC says, Brio this is way more than 6 LOL. Morthar says,
All right.
Amua.
30.
Taifa says,
Right.
Taifa has
I
reached
was like,
level 27.
all these other ones are like 300 and 200.
Japanai
Like, what?
says,
30.
LOL. Ajoa says, Ajoa
Those
has
are the
reached
ones.
level 12. Feisuzu says,
That's
LOL.
another one. That's the
Motox Zero
300.
says,
Wow.
Amua. Broken Cave says, Amua.
There's another one. 14 intelligence is only 75.
Hollow Light says, I too am looking for group. Japanai says,
yeah.
love you guys.
Yeah, no, they're both like 318, 320. So I got the $30 one. Cool. All right.
ADDLCTED Fox says, Tut.
Cool. Mostly it's off. I've got heavy with focus and con. So yeah. But I just got something. This is Dex and con. But I could swap it. It's light. No, it's medium. But it's
Broken
but it's
Cave
310
says,
gear score. Dex con. Okay, there's fire staff.
Broken Cave says, where we grouping?
So you think I should just buy some gear then?
Gak 9000 says, where do I find feathers to craft arrow? Hump says, come to WW Gate.
Let's see.
I am extremist says, turkeys.
Gear score.
Cedadoon says, turkeys. Hayes 5500 says,
You said
dear
not
guest.
heavy but light, right?
Hump says, tons of PvP. I am extremist says, kill
Okay.
them and skin them. Broken Cave says, kill large birds like tukis. Gak 9000 says,
Before.
tut.
Not even
Mark
even a
Ennis
split. Like
says,
this one's split
turkeys.
7-5, 5 until
Hollow Light
7-4.
says,
It's not even, not
I might
that
as
either.
well misspell it too, Tarky. Broken Cave says, where we
Oh, right,
grouping
yeah, we
for
don't want that.
Brightwood Fort.
Yeah.
I am extremist says, Roflo. Hayes 5500 says, LOL. I am extremist
And then light.
says, LFG to do our mine. GAC says, bro there's like 12 LOL. GAC says, WTF.
Right.
Agent Booth says, GG. Hump says, we grouping for BW Fort.
Right. That one's only 100, but it's 7 intel and 4 con.
Hamish Bacon says, I
Okay.
wonder if you can meet Captain Isabella somewhere. I've not been paying attention to the NPCs I've met. Ben Doverson 3 says, LFG Amreen. Agent Booth says, I'm just chillin' at the moment. Hamish Bacon says,
Oh, no, I don't
or
want
even
that.
Frederico.
No, I don't think I've got any rings, I don't think. Yeah, it's just...
Broken Cave
yeah, that one's
says,
39.
That's what I thought we were
It's
doing
only
yet.
4, though. 4 intel, 7
Olmedic
focus.
says, where can I find silver? Humph says, team.
Mm-hmm.
I am extremist says, Amua. Morthar says, this is a few.
Oh, nice, okay.
Leggy CV says, it's late in beta. Hamish
Gotcha,
Bacon
okay.
says, all mining items are usually around rocky outcrops.
Right.
Humph says, is there PvP at Fort?
400. That's a crazy green armor piece. Crazy. There's a plus 12 intelligence. About 330, never mind.
King CNO says, where the heck are rabbits? Hamish Bacon says,
green, yeah,
other
plus
gatherables are
12.
random through fields it seems. Eternum Zoji says, LF goats and sheep.
12, 7 and 4 for 150. Okay. Oh, yeah, there's another one. Yeah, yeah. That's strength and con. 7 and 4 for 80. And it's heavy. 311. 7 intel, 4 focus. I think it's that
Broken Cave says, yes.
one. Okay.
Hamish Bacon says, are you on a goat quest in Everfall? Mr.
Yeah.
Jimmer says, yes at Hamish Bacon. Mr. Jimmer says, you meet her in Evanscale. Mr. Jimmer says, I just killed
mostly
her.
I've stored everything in Monarch, I think. Oh look, yeah, nothing here. Monarch, yeah, so 229, 227, yeah, this is all old stuff. That's all junk. Yeah, it's all junk.
Hamish Bacon says, I am wondering if the man the letters describe is the guy that gives the box in the intro. Hamish Bacon says, the heretic. Perdita says, newworldfans.com/map.
Okay, cool. Yeah, I'll go back and look. Maybe there's some other stuff I can wait on the chest piece, but maybe the other stuff's available. Let's just look quick. Alright, apparel. Head armor. Can't afford GS 320. Intelligence focus.
Cornazy says,
48.
GF.
Con intelligence.
Tubuku says, Ty. Olivern says, Olivern has reached level 11. Hamish Bacon says, if looking for the sheep in Everfall they are west of quest marker. Shirefolk says, newworldfans.com/maps.
I went there last night and just talked to him. I think I maybe did the first part, but I haven't done much past that, I don't think.
Shirefolk says, newworld.com/maps. Shirefolk says, thank me later.
Yeah, Jonas Alzari, and he the dude in on the dock. Yeah.
Shirefolk says, newworldfans.com/maps.
So, yeah, so y'all headed down to the dock. Okay.
Kooop says, Kooop has reached level 27.
Would you get 320 plus 12 pants that are light with a 1.5% chance for rare items from chests and monsters for only $39.90? Okay.
Holy Knight says, do we get to keep costumes we buy in shop in live game? Maddox Aiden says, THX. Eternum Zoji says, Tai. Murasaka Nobara says, I'm looking for a boy named Okumer. I am extremist says, need 2 more for Armine. Lahife says, banana nana 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 and banana banana nana banana nana nana banana nana nana nana. Akaris 98 says, at Holy Night the stuff you see in this beta shop are just test items to make sure the shop works. I am extremist says, we're almost done already. Tanza says, the Musketeers Pants of the Brigand. Me Lobster 2.0 says, Me Lobster 2.0 has reached level 26. Sablo says, Brightwood Keep is ours boys. Lilith Vex says, at Holy Night, yes. Moose Dog says, Moose Dog has reached level 45. Humph says, get to WW Gate. Humph says, lots of PvP. Broken Cave says, I can't believe I've been sleeping on the musket until today lol. Glorified says, see ya man. Broken Cave says, that dot is nasty. Humph says, 10 to 15 of each faction except us. Melandra says, not sure, uneasy face. Melandra says, good luck. Zedek says, Zedek has reached level 20. Miss October says, equals P. Lahife says, our sprinkler is on and sounds like this, and then turns back like to. Glorified says, it's level 40 skinning. Brianna Bolt says, Brianna Bolt has reached level 25. Broken Cave says, 360 no scopped him. Nimalosh says, on a scale of 1 to out of your gourd how high are you Lahife? Conra says, Conra has reached level 40. Jurgen Fierskin says, GG. Lahife says, Gord LBL. Moses0922 says, Tut. Miss October says, robot voice chat equals win. Disrupted Halo says, Disrupted Halo has reached level 22.
Disrupted Halo. Let's see.
Motok Zero says, your jukes are mad, dude. Kane's Mark says, anyone doing Boros Dungeon? Japanai says, GJ. XYZ says, need to do quest to get past 3k. Zorpo says, ha 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 ha. Kane's Mark says, okay. Broken Cave says, WW Fort next. Shang CH1 says, full send. Japanai says, yes. Lee Harvey Oswald says, you guys don't know what a 1v1 is, do you? PKMN Lover 9000 says, easy. Occidentum says, how do we repair our armor? Henry L.E. Massive says, I'm at WWGAT. Henry L.E. Massive says, asterisk gate. Henry L.E. Massive says, form a group. Lahife says, when I mow the grass tomorrow, my lawnmower goes shirshirirarir vabavum shirarararararara. Tukmu says, sure. XYZ says, hold R and click on it in INV. CH0P says, bababoom. Gak 9000 says, is there teleport to towns mechanic? Kojima says, LOL carrot. Jurgen Fierskin says, LFG Starstone. Kojima says, what sound does your car make when you start it up / Kojima says, asterisk. Phineas Finn says, coming. Japanai says, we are just making sure no one comes back. Lahife says, my car goes wow 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 wow. Kojima says, nice carrot. B3TR says, where do I get Rivercrest stem? Motok Zero says, you are a god. Motok Zero says, holy shit. Occidentum says, how do we repair our armor? Baked Cookie says, by rivers. Hamzigla says, I just bought some at the trading post. Morthar says, WEL played. Humph says, can y'all? Hamzigla says, 100 a pop. Sablo says, all he did was run and pot. Humph says, maybe come PvP at WW. Baked Cookie says, I also find them at the Fisher MAND place. Lahife says, no radio in car so I beatbox at I am extremist says, can two people help with Armine? Baked Cookie says, Fisherman's Landing. B3TR says, I thanks. Faisuzu says, Amua. Sorbin says, fucking shit tier purples LUL. Broken Cave says, I'll head to WW now. Sorbin says, that's what happens when you thirst. Humph says, tut. Shire Folk says, is that a weird wood pole? Tukmu says, okay. Broken Cave says, For those who don't know, there's a fast travel point fight next to BW Fort to the north. I Am Extremist says, can two people help with our mine? GAC says, not really anyone here. GAC says, BTW. GAC says, at WW Fort. Humph says, the gate. Humph says, not Fort. Humph says, main city. Alec 12 says, it is important to hold BW for the next day so we don't get split wars again. Spicy Italian Meat says, we need two people to help with our mine. Broken Cave says, did y'all know y'all can flag at fast travel shrines? Garzhawk says, is there a way to tell how many players are on the server? It seems really dead compared to the last couple of days. PKMN Lover 9000 says, so we clear on BW? Sablo says, just a couple trickling in sometimes is all left. Lahife says, chopper just flew over and is sounded like piss. Humph says, so no one to WW settlement gate? Miss October says, for those who do not know, you can turn on UChat to read to you. Broken Cave says, I'm almost to WW. Henry L.E. Massive says,
that one
I
was
came,
perfect,
it's just
man.
you and me, homie.
Oh god, that one was
PKMN
perfect.
Lover 9000 says, so we all going to WW Fort? Sasha Gorecrest says, how do you get water in this game? Action Bowman says, from the water. Scape says, I'll go. Broken Cave says, in WW heading to Fort now. Occidentum says, how do I get repair kits? Lahife says, big chicks make my boat go brr. GAC says, again, there is no one at the fort. Lahife says, Lahife has reached level 12. Hayes 5500 says, or a well. GAC says, NVM. GAC says, 3. Stopit Donk says, is that a yes? Inferno Wolf says, at Occidentum kits or parts. Raiden Moose 4 days says, you mean big chicks sink your boat? Soulja Boy 420 says, gay. Sasha Gorecrest says, I'll take it, the ocean isn't the water I want for potions though. Lahife says, LOL. Humph says, I'm not. Occidentum says, repair kits for my armor. Humph says, talking about the Fort LMFAO. Henry L.E. Massive says, group up at WW. Hayes 5500 says, no, you need fresh. Nemolosh says, go to fresh water sources like rivers and ponds. Henry L.E. Massive says, if you are here at WW gate, form a group. Humph says, the damn gate at the settlement. Inferno Wolf says, you just salvage things to get repair parts, then click on the item you want to repair and repair it. Altrina says, what's up Ginger? Sasha Gorecrest says, do I need a tool of any sort to do it? Kojima says, reported. Occidentum says, thanks. GAC says, just come. Inferno Wolf says, NP. GAC says, 4 greens at Fort. Hayes 5500 says, nope, not for water. Sasha Gorecrest says, dope tie. GAC says, 5. Lahife says, bigger chopper just flew over and it sounded like swa 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 swa. That girl queen says, yes. That girl queen says, thanks so much. Rempred says, need a third for depths dungeon. Broken Cave says, huge fight outside WW gates LOL. Tulrian says, Roflocopter. Bopan BUP by Bapi says, anyone know why PvP turns off when leaving village? Alec 12 says, there's a lot of purples doing faction missions in BW to try and split us, it looks like. Lahife says, AHH, yet it was a Roflocopter. Hags says, so how's the LGBT server doing today? Garzhawk says, is there a way to see how many players on the server? Tulrian says, you have it enabled before you leave. Cedadoon says, can you only put certain gems into certain weapons? Won't let me put a gem in my one-hander, says it's not compatible. PKMN Lover 9000 says, what happened to the fight at Fort WW? It moved to Northgate WW. LOL big ass group. Kara says, anyone wanna gimme gold so I can get some drop? Humph says, I've been eyeing. Garzhawk says, Garzhawk has reached level 26. Humph says, it's here at WW Gate. Jurgen Fierskin says, tie. Blazing Nemesis says, Blazing Nemesis has reached level 19. Akaris 98 says, that isn't turning it off. GAC says, bro. GAC says, there are 5 people. GAC says, greens. Akaris 98 says, that is the invulnerability period before you can actively fight. GAC says, at the fort. GAC says, stop memeing at the settlement gate. Humph says, STFU. PKMN Lover 9000 says, coming. Akaris 98 says, so you can't just pop in and out of town rapidly to fight people. Humph says, there's PvP at WW Gate. Lahife says, why are there no tac 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 tac, reload. Tac 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 guns in this game? GAC says, USTFU at Humph. Humph says, stop trolling. GAC says, who are you anyway? Cedadoon says, using it with a life staff. Was wanting to add DMG based on focus for my Hashe. Kojima says, LL. Tanza says, officer's hat of the fighter. Alfred Hitchcock says, lock in. Darkerai says, Vendetta that was messed up. Kojima says, LOL. GAC says, LOL. Darkerai says, attacked for no reason. PKMN Lover 9000 says, I just seen like 20 green come to WW Gate, then they were fighting purple, then some yellow memeing at the gate. V4 Vendetta says, LMAOK, I don't even have PvP active, dumb fuck. Hermit Maki says, Hermit Maki has reached level 36. Rim 420 says, Rim 420 has reached level 12. Daddy Deuce says, Daddy Deuce has reached level 12. Glizzy McGoo 1re says, Glizzy McGoo 1re has reached level 14. TrueJax says, TrueJax has reached level 9. Miss October says, moo. Oink says, Spear of the Outer Isles. Oink says, damn. DazEFPS says, my god. DazEFPS says, damn. Darkerai says, I know. Broken Cave says, so Fort WW not WW Gate fight? Darkerai says, Don't know why he kept going LMAO. Zorpo says, might need some people at WW Fort. Jorgensen says, holy. Broken Cave says, Fort it is a moop. Death Dancer says, how do you get iron? Zorpo says, it's like 2v10. Oinks says, vowed to kill Ishini with my one spear mastery. Oinks says, I believe now, this is all I needed. V-Jack says, need more for depths, have key, PST. Oinks says, Kaku. I Shiny says, nutta. Lahife says, sometimes I say a hip hop the hippie to the hip hop and you don't stop the rocket to the bang bang boogie say up jump the boogie to the rhythm of the boogie the beat don't stop. Oinks says, WTB spear lessons. Oinks says, full focus BTW. Domnica says, Domnica has reached level 13. Brockman says, want to run it back. I have another orb. Player 4 says, not on that one yet. Kane's Mark says, run what back? I need a group haha. Oinks says, oh damn. Oinks says, just got something even better. Oinks says, ornament.
Yo, cuz.
Oinks says,
So should,
my
now
house
that I've got
gonna
fire
be dope
staff, should
ASF.
I respec my attributes and put them all into intelligence? Okay.
Lahife says, sometimes Kid Rock says Baywit Dabada bang a dang diggy 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 said the boogie set up jump the boogie. Baywit Dabada bang a dang diggy 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 said the boogie set up jump the boogie wooja. PKMN Lover 9000 says, thank God. Alec 12 says, need help in BW.
Damn. You ain't kidding, man. A light attack is 300.
PKMN Lover 9000 says, claiming WW.
No, not, I couldn't find enough stuff that was all light with intel on it. Dang. Yeah, so I'm actually really screwed up then because I've got like some heavy, some medium, some light, so I'm not getting any kind of bonus on anything. But I'll make sure I'll keep an eye out.
Broken Cave says, Amu to WW.
I see what you're saying about not having to heal though, because I'm just too hitting these wolves, like they don't even get close to hitting me.
Broken Cave says, they really need to nerf healing in PvP.
And then what do you like in your fire staff? Do you like the pyromancer tree or the fire mage? Okay. over fire. All right. Nice.
Cynico IE says, Cynico IE has reached level 18.
All right. Let me see. So I can just go like this.
Casual as says, how do I
Swap
repair
over
weapons?
And then just fire everything. Ah, okay, yeah. Gotcha.
Sadelo says, R plus left click on it. Apple says, open your inventory and hit repair all or R left click. Henry L.E. Massive says, they do. Henry L.E. Massive says, but they won't. Henry L.E. Massive says, too many life staff players. Casual as says, tie guys. B Jack says, need more for depths, have key. Stuckler says, GF. Apple S says, YW. Broken Cave says, it drags out fights too much. Broken Cave says, or at least make effects go away when they swap WPNS. Henry L.E. Massive says, life staff sword and board is practically unkillable. PKMN Lover 9000 says, people camping outside west of WW Fort. Madmison says, I am down.
Yeah, I was thinking it was making like a fire. They run
Paradox
through,
Charlotte
but it's
says,
more like
is fire staff have any redeeming
like
qualities?
AoE on them.
Caradoc Charlotte says, even with full gear the mana consumption too much. Lahife says, fire staff build is up. Nimalosh says, mana is rough on it until higher, then it's a non-issue. Gok2 says, perk for heavy attacks cost no mana. Chuck Mayhem says, Chuck Mayhem dances. Caradoc Charlotte says, okay cause I got full LVL 40, PvP light armor gear and points in int and focus. PKMN Lover 9000 says, they are back in WW Fort, on point. Chips FPS says, need one PvP enabled for Armine, need a healer. Chips FPS says, need a healer for Armine, PvP enabled PL0X. O'Malley OH says, we need help in BW.
Trying that
Paradox Charlotte
animation.
says, like I wanna like it but I don't know.
Double damage. So it's like a left click, and you get Q, like right.
Caradoc Charlotte says, what tree is
so what I was
best
trying to do is I was
experience
trying
and
to
what would you
hit
suggest to
and then
combo it
Q
with?
right after it, and then mouse button, right? So click, click, clue, click, right? So it double stacks. Oh, gotcha. Okay. Right. Okay.
Sablo says, I can be there in a sec, chips.
So you're saying this? What?
PKMN Lover
I see,
9000
okay.
says,
Gotcha.
take the Phi T back to the fort. Alec 12 says, come do faction missions in BW. Alec 12 says, need help holding BW. O'Malley OH says, KK. O'Malley OH says, INV. Alec 12 says, come kill all the Reds. Unstoppable Donut says, how do you upgrade your camp to tier 2? Apples says, some quest at level like 15 I think. Quadro says, you have to cook enough s'mores. Desroses says, Desroses has reached level 14. Shananu says, /played. Napoleon says, you have to do the quest Friends in Fashion in Monarch's Bluff. Japanai says, how many on BW? Napoleon says, or something similar named. Apples says, what he said. Apples says, LOL. I Dream in Memes says, you have to. Ziantrix says, Ziantrix has reached level 12. Caradoc Charlotte says, just asking for people's personal preferences they have found. Miss October says, that what she said. Dirty Exhaust Pipe says, Dirty Exhaust Pipe has reached level 13. Vulnerability says, ta. X Jada Arc says, NP. Stink IP says, I suck. Stink IP says, LOL. Broken Cave says, large group coming. Japanai says, OMW to BW. Feisuzu says, where? Broken Cave says, S. Broken Cave says, 5+. Lahife says, OTW 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 OTW. Stink IP says, thanks for 2 duels. Broken Cave says, 8+ now. Feisuzu says, WW we need more people. Boingy Boingy says, L. Broken Cave says, now 12 at WW. Silk says, dear the faction out they might help lol. Nimalosh says, so what's y'all's favorite zone so far and why? PKMN Lover 9000 says, who's at BW Fort? Weaver Sven says, Eden Grove. B3TR says, Everfall cause it's central. Jay Walker says, Master Cannoneer's Rapier. Miss October needs to be revived.
Uh-oh.
Lahife says, I get paid in Aria cookies to answer surveys. Daddy Femto says, Eden Grove bis. Japanai says, I just got here, got wrecked by 4 purples.
Oreo cookie.
Nemalosh says, I'm liking Morningdale, haven't seen Eden Grove yet. Japanai says, don't know if there's more of us here. Miss October says, Miss October has reached level 12.
Yep.
Broken Cave says, we grabbed the fort then we all left, there were like 3 of us to hold the fort. Metro says, the taxes are too damn high. PKMN Lover 9000 says, I just died there, they about 10 sitting high, but about 20 plus overall at BW. Metro says, in purple and green territories. Paradox Charlotte says, anyone else in Cutlass Keys annoyed that the street alligators don't count towards the Cull Alligators missions? Broken Cave says, so 20 at BW and 20 at WW. Japanai says, so what are we fighting? Sister Mumble says, no more taxes. Japanai says, let's choose one. PKMN Lover 9000 says, there are more inside the fort. Nemalosh says, Cutlass Keys has the worst missions. Metro says, totes. Bams says, what's the best way to level someone fast? Metro says, on taxes. Broken Cave says, should we take BW? Metro says, donate it to the poor. Broken Cave says, or do we not have enough people willing? Japanai says, there's like 4 PPS. Broken Cave says, it is kinda late. Japanai says, in BW. Yatanar says, Seth, can you hear me? Broken Cave says, Amu to BW then. Alec12 says, they can't deck on WW unless they glitch it. Alec12 says, BW more important. PKMN Lover 9000 says, Amu to BW. Simter says, LFG. PKMN Lover 9000 says, gonna wait till more people get there. Broken Cave says, where you waiting at so we can group? Kraket says, Adam, are you there? Aoki says, anyone know of a good way to get us off? PKMN Lover 9000 says, he'll meet you up cave. Simther says, where to meet? Japanai says, southeast side. Cole from CF1 says, at Aoki invasion portals. Japanai says, front gate. Broken Cave says, I'm going to Purple Ping. Lahife says, most people in this time of New World died of diarrhea, gonorrhea, or indigestion. Sister Mumble says, help, I need help. The friar is sick. Okot says, get the leeches, sister. Lahife says, so where's the Pepto-Bismol? Friar Grumble says, oh I'm sick. PKMN Lover 9000 says, we can all surround the area then go in at once. Friar Grumble says, a grave illness. Sister Mumble says, somebody help. Friar Grumble says, seek out Sister Mumble and give me aid. Casual as says, mounts or no buy. Miss October says, he should have irons then you die with your pants down. Japanai says, biting inside already. PKMN Lover 9000 says, how many at BW? Count off 1. Friar Grumble says, I am ill. Friar Grumble says, in the prime of my youth. Friar Grumble says, I need aid. Alec 12 says, 20-ish of them trying to flip BW. Alec 12 says, they want a 2x deck. Broken Cave says, 20. Lahife says, so many bad tacos brip Broken Cave says, I thought there was 4. Alec 12 says, need to protect BW. Broken Cave says, there were 20 at WW. Friar Grumble says, need help. Alec 12 says, forget WW come BW. Friar Grumble says, am deathly ill. Alec 12 says, WW means nothing. Broken Cave says, I'm at BW now. PKMN Lover 9000 says, what it sounds like it's only 5 to 7 of us at BW. KYPHR says, is the Great Axe bugged? It seems some abilities aren't hitting. Broken Cave says, ish. Sister Mumble says, the friar is very sick. I need an adventurer to help get medicine to heal him. Casual as says, do you guys think this game would be as easy to be as OSRS? Casual as says, to bot asterisk. Alec 12 says, we took fort but we need to do PvP missions in BW. Alec 12 says, or we will get double war. Japanai says, action PvP missions. Alec 12 says, yes. B4 Benletta says, oh no. It's not point and click. Arian says, right now. Alec 12 says, they are trying to flip BW. Player 4 says, any level 60s or so killed Si Wang in Shattered Mutins. Alec 12 says, don't let them. Alec 12 says, do PvP faction missions. Japanai says, I. Broken Cave says, camp. Friar Grumble says, I need aid. Alec 12 says, they're calling faction to help them flip WW. Friar Grumble says, help me adventurers. Alec 12 says, more are coming. Friar Grumble says, I need aid. Friar Grumble says, I am deathly ill. Sister Mumble says, I need an adventurer to save the friar. Smogs says, you have AIDS? Friar Grumble says, no, I need aid. Friar Grumble says, from a noble adventurer. Smogs says, oh okay, you have AIDS, gotcha. Madmison says, anyone wanna help me with Amreen? Susie Guy says, I'm not giving my AIDS up. Nimalosh says, skip. Friar Grumble says, dialogue skip, the quest NPC is in Windsward. Nimalosh says, skip. Belene says, if anybody wants AAT4 bag, I'm making them, you just need to provide the greater rune of holding. Kipo says, AIDS is meant to be shared, not kept for yourself, Sunza. Belene says, in Monarch's Bluff.
Did you see that
Friar
quote?
Grumble says, main quest's not skippable.
AIDS is meant to be shared, not kept for yourself. Sun Tzu.
Sister Mumble says, I will reward any adventurer who helps save the friar. Alec12 says, I'm running faction missions now. Japanai says, going to BW to pick up some PvP missions. Alec12 says, let's reset their progress before more come.
Yo, Mariana Olcott. Swear she is.
KMN Lover 9000 says, more of us about to run PvP missions for BW. Friar Grumble says, ow woo 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 owie. Friar Grumble says, my heart.
Yeah, I was looking to see. Yep. Yep. Mm-hmm. Oh, I got you. Okay. Maybe you... Right. This one's Singe.
Japanai says, how do you get the little lock on the forts to secure them?
Alright, where is this person?
Kaenzo says, Kaenzo cheers. Kaenzo says, Kaenzo cheers. Kaenzo says, Kaenzo cheers. Davian Dran Knight says, yellow bitch. Broken Cave says, whoa. Broken Cave says, goldenrod asterisk. Cobra says, SEC. Broken Cave says, golden is also fine. Desrosis says, infused claw, what is that? Broken Cave says, infused claw. Weaver Sven says, an animal claw infused with Azov. Desrosis says, is it good? First purple item LOL. Broken Cave says, if you like crafting yet. Tanza says, anyone want doing depths? Friar Grumble says, I am dying. Friar Grumble says, I require aid. Friar Grumble says, of the bravest adventurer. Susie Guy says, AIDS. Cole from CF1 says, looking to buy New World Mommy. Metro says, I was once infused with Azoth, it changed me. Leggy CB says, there you go, put you out of your misery. Tanza says, I have orb for depths looking for group. Leggy CB says, now die quietly. ICL0UD says, just pet Archimedes. ICL0UD says, cures your soul. Yari I says, look at ICL0UD man, so inspirational.
So she's still doing all her therapy and stuff. She still has her speech that she goes to and her occupational therapist on Saturdays. But we found a study from Johns Hopkins and Mass General in Boston from 2014 where they were giving
Astrian says, how do I
sulforaphane
unstuck myself?
to the autism patients, and they were getting remarkably better in
Bumby
cognitive
says,
function, behavior, and
/unstuck.
speech. And that sulforaphane
Shire
is
Folk
from,
says,
broccoli
ESC
sprouts.
then game menu then
Seeds.
unstuck.
So we got some trial. There's been some older studies since then that found similar results. So it seems to be pretty easily reproducible. Yeah, and they said too that what's really interesting is that if you stop taking it, you go back. Like it's not a permanent correction. So on those 4 other studies, one of them was a follow-up study, and there were 16 families that responded, and of the 16 that responded,
Astrian
10 were
says,
still on the
what you
supplement
think,
2 years
guys?
later.
This game gonna be the WoW killer?
You know, on their own after the study had ended.
Dorner says,
Because it would
WoW
make
will
such a
be
difference
fine.
with their kid. And so we've seen it. Like now she's walking around the house, and there's like
Dorner says, not a
constant
comparable game.
dialogue going. It's her own language. We don't know what she's saying.
Raistlin
but
Majira
she's
2
like
says,
singing to herself.
WoW killer?
Right, she's like singing
WoW
to
is
herself.
doing a great
you know,
job of
and,
that itself.
and singing little melodies.
Silk says,
as she's playing
WoW
with
will
stuff,
probs
just-
be fine, but
just
this game will be
vocalizing
poppin' for
everywhere,
sure.
But she,
Silk
she didn't
says,
do before.
no other good
She would
sandbox modes
repeat
emo.
some things, but she
Broken
wouldn't,
Cave
like,
says,
on her own
they
be
gave
just
up
like,
attack
you know,
BW.
doing that.
Silk says, Albion is I. Caradoc Charlotte says, I mean it more for our
she'll
RuneScape
say,
boys.
like
Caradoc
tonight we were
Charlotte
saying,
says, what you think this gonna be the
bubbles,
RuneScape
and she'll
killer?
go, I see.
RD Meal says,
and
itself.
She'll see this
Silk
book
says,
that's like
I'm
brown bear,
playing an
brown bear,
Ava
what
tank
do you
on
see?
Ozras right now,
She'll sing that
LMAO.
whole thing. She'll do.
Friar
brown bear,
Grumble
brown
says,
bear, what do
oh,
you
ow, ow,
see?
oh, we.
Like, she'll sing it.
Friar Grumble says, my pain.
Right, right.
Silk says,
So we're good.
upping while I play this.
Yeah, and she can
Friar
say
Grumble says,
bubbles.
hate me.
We can't get her to say I see bubbles. She hasn't done that quite yet, because that's 4 together. But she'll say bubbles.
Caradoc Charlotte
bubbles is
says,
one of the ones
I
she'll say a
definitely
lot,
mapping
'cause she
auto
loves
run to
bubbles.
one of my mouse
She'll
buttons
come
come
say,
release.
Bubbles. And she'll say, you know,
Sugler
we just now
says,
started getting her to
it's
say,
like a tank.
eat cookie or
Chemwolf
eat
says,
chips.
the
eat, so
XP
we're
on
starting
these
to
is
get
how
add,
all
like,
the
a verb
expeditions
with-
should be LOL.
with a word. So
Sugler says, GG.
we're getting there.
Friar Grumble says, Blade. Friar Grumble says, the only way to stop global chat spam is to do my quest. Friar Grumble says, otherwise I will continue. Okot says, I think you are beyond saving. Broken Cave says, or block/report. ICL0UD says, what if I gave you a Scooby snack? Friar Grumble says, seek Sister Mumble.
Man, you're not kidding. It seems like the fast way is just to harvest him.
Friar Grumble says, she will give the quest
I'm
details.
getting like 194.
Leggy CB says, not even a real friar.
And
Magic
it's like every time you
says,
level up, like,
where
there's
was
a
she
huge
last
amount.
seen?
Yeah, so right now it's 24 and 25, but then earlier, like a minute ago, I leveled up in my harvesting and it was 194 points. Oh, really? Dang.
Sister Mumble says, I'm just outside of Windwards. The west entrance. Leggy CB says, how many XP do we get from the quest? Friar Grumble says, lots. Leggy CB says, doubtful. Friar Grumble says, a legendary item. Broken Cave says, I am very out of Azoth, so I hope we don't need to attack things again, lol. Nimalosh says, prob one of those cursed sex change belts or something.
What?
Nesicromty says, LF1 Amreen. Kane's Mark says, I'm one.
Does it mean to do like some town board quests or something, like a certain amount of them? Oh, I did you? Okay.
H3ATS says, at Nimalosh, how do I get that and what is it? Broken Cave says, night y'all. B3TR says, how do you get cursed sex change belt? ICL0UD says, GN. Nimalosh says, you have to help the friar. Kittredge says, 30 DPS for Amreen or Portals PST.
Yeah.
Ditter says, GF.
Right. This is just like a mix of heavy and medium. Ah, I missed that second shot.
Simter says, faction PvP quests. Lee Harvey Oswald says, need a healer Armine need one. Grown Man's Gaming says, I envy.
Okay. I just need these things to respawn.
Chips FPS says, need one for Armine. Chips FPS says, need a healer for Armine. Chips FPS says, PvP enabled. Chips FPS says, need one for Armine, PvP enabled. Jurgen Fierskin says, GG. Simthur says, group for faction PvP quests. Lahife says, Lahife has reached level 13.
Nice.
Alec12 says,
Yeah,
we just
it
have
does
to keep them
damage.
from decking
No,
a bit longer for BW invasion to go to
yeah,
3
I'm just
star.
having a hard time landing
Evil
it, so
Monkey
I'm gonna work
says,
on it, so we gotta
GG.
practice it some more.
CPT Crisp says, healer LFG Amreen. Chips FPS says, need a healer for Armine, PvP enabled. Piano says, yo, can someone gift me like 300 gold coins? I would kiss you.
Ah, okay.
Tanza says, anyone doing depths, I have the orb, just looking for a group. Evil Monkey says, GF. Baked Cookie says, suck me. Baked Cookie says, suck me. YBNGAL says, AIG. Oinks says, go it's Sky. Oinks says, you can do it.
And the animation when you kill him with that
YBNGAL
fireball is pretty
says,
awesome. It
damn
counts
straight I can.
It's like counts like Call of Duty.
CPT Crisp says, healer LFG Amreen.
Yeah, it's a lot more fun than when I was running before. I think I was running before, it was a struggle. Like you could live, but you were a lot of management. I thought I saw my soul sample over here. Pretty good.
Tanza says, LFG decks
That's
have
the
orb.
third Forsaken Great Axe of the whatever. I keep getting, for some reason.
Zepro says, ah. Elea says, it's a fight outside the settlement.
Oh, okay. Dang, it's nice. Okay. Cooper's soil. All of them? Let's see. Cooper's soil.
Ditter says, GF. El Clam says, what do we do?
Cooper sword and arrows. Okay.
Caradoc Charlotte says, guys. Caradoc Charlotte says, I bought home. CPT Crisp says, are you guys DPS? CPT Crisp says, healer LFG Amreen. Keep Windsward is under attack. Grown Man's Gaming says, LOL I was healer.
Right.
Rempred says, sure. DR Fail says, GF. Nihilis says, I shouldn't mirror match you like that.
Just about car rush.
Nihilis says,
LOL.
LOL.
Would be nice.
Nihilis says, GF. DR Fail says, when did you switch to fire staff? Tulrian says, does the hatchet scale better with strength or does it scale with dex equally? Weaver Sven says, better with STR. Stormamere says, how do you make cloth? Nihilis says, I body blocked him. Nihilis says, LOL. Tulrian says, good to know Ty. Weaver Sven says, whenever something has two things it scales with, first option is higher scaling. ICL0UD says, finally hit the big 3-0.
Oh, there's the ingredients I need. One delicious when I say this.
Caradoc Charlotte says, at ICL0UD proud of you.
Strawberries to come in. They got waylaid out by Moe's farm. Get that produce from the farm.
ICL0UD says, Ty.
Then we'll bring up everyone's spirits.
You saw the grazing just break down, right?
Wolfie says, sit.
See all these swords, all these axes I got, they're all low though, 215, 188, 176.
Random login name says, where do I go to make bullets?
Well, that's a 241.
Kenzo says, workbench. Emberstone says, workshop. Miss October says, Miss October has reached level 13. Random login name says, thank you. Caradoc Charlotte says, I gotta make a Bowlin house before end of beta so I can get one good screenshot. Tanza says, looking for group depths. Tanza says, have orb. ICL0UD says, same. Keep Windsward has been claimed by Covenant.
Let's see. Go up there.
John NWA says, linen arcane embroidery.
So, the patrol from Marnock's Bluffs had already been wiped out by the... The truth is that that would, well, I am not sure...
Caradoc Charlotte says, anyone have really cute furniture I can
The
buy.
settlement of First
Tanza
Light is
says,
quite some
looking
distance
for
to the
tank and
south,
healer
so
depths.
be prepared.
Lungs Like Kirby says, buy the painting in Everfall Trader. And 3 Utrol says, GF. And 3 Utrol says, yeah lol. And 3 Utrol says, I thought someone was gonna interrupt for a sec there too.
So you joined a faction?
Caradoc
But
Charlotte
it's not
says,
that- I mean,
a
sure.
painting you say.
wanna volunteer? I
Stormamere says, where do I find cloth?
rescue every time.
Caradoc Charlotte says,
Elk antlers
oh
and
what?
hunt down some of the humans too. Then next time, they can get their own.
Yeah, no, right? Wrap up a couple of these and then I might go to bed.
Tanza says, looking for 2 more PPL for depths. Any takers? I have orb.
Again, the ghost of... I don't think I care. Everywhere. All over Aternum. Or was it under Aternum? I was adamant. I remember stone and iron, chisel and shovel. It may be the mines. Adamant mines. Or maybe not.
7 Lotus says, LFG for Depths Healer. Deceitfulness says, I'm down. Deceitfulness says, send an invite. Elaya says, Elaya waves? Elaya says, Elaya dances. Bowie says, Bowie sits. Quadthrow says, Quadthrow sits. Quadthrow says, Quadthrow dances. I Dream in Memes says, I Dream in Memes sits. I Dream in Memes says, I Dream in Memes dances. I Dream in Memes says, I Dream in Memes dances. I Dream in Memes says, I Dream in Memes dances. Korean Karen says, how to get LVL2 cam? Kolioyo says, Kolioyo has reached level 10. Brockman says, Amreen Temple Warhammer of the Soldier. Jesse Crash says, anyone know how long it takes for Ezra to respawn in the temple? ICL0UD says, you get a quest at like LVL 15 I think. Matey says, you need complete the quest. Lungs Like Kirby says, put the board back up at Alec 12. ICL0UD says, Darkness Defined or Covenant Templar Grey Tax.
The light of the Covenant shines within you.
Jurgen Fearskin says, darkness defined. Look at stats.
Catch you tomorrow night. Can't wait for this to come out, man. It's gonna be fun. Yeah, I was surprised about that. Yeah.
Town project upgrade explosives to tier 2 started in territory Everfall.
Right.
Lungs Like Kirby
I
says,
feel bad for
Lungs Like
Valheim. I
Kirby
feel
has
like
reached
people-
level
everybody's
56.
already like forgotten about Valheim.
Tang Ari says,
And it's just
Tang
disappeared,
Ari
yeah.
dances.
Hold on, let me guess.
Town project upgrade smelter to tier 5 started in territory Everfall. Wolfwalker says, Wolfwalker dances. ICL0UD says, I'm spec 100% into FOC though. Town project activate farmers harvest started in territory Everfall. Laruz says,
Gotcha.
Laruz wants you to look at their arms. Aren't they great?
Right. they did,
B3TR
they did.
says, what's farmers harvest? ICL0UD says, does that make a difference at all? Laruz says, Laruz has their eyes on you. Laruz says, Laruz wants you to look at their arms. Aren't they great?
Alright, man.
Wolfwalker says, Wolfwalker has their eyes on you. Wolfwalker says, Wolfwalker has their eyes on you. Tanza says, cool. Wolfwalker says, Wolfwalker has their eyes on you.
1080, and it's running smooth on it.
Shadow Dragon says, Shadow Dragon
Right.
sits. Gordon Rams says,
So it's not.
those
they're not-
heels
they're not
must be
melting down.
godly.
like the 30 series are.
The light of the Covenant shines within you.
Oh yeah.
Sudler says,
Yeah, very just a little,
WGF.
very little. Or he upped in a little bit, but. Mhm. Really? Mhm.
Imfire says, LFG Deadmans.
Right, no, that's crazy. Mhm.
Davian Dran Knight says, Steel Rapier of the Artificer, Steel Rapier of the Assassin, Steel Rapier of the Ranger, Steel Rapier of the Soldier, Steel Rapier of the Scholar, Steel Rapier of the Assassin, selling at Everfall Trade Market.
Cool. Yeah, man, I'm right behind you. I'm gonna wrap up a few of these quests. I'm heading out. So, I'll be back on tomorrow night.
X Jada Arc says, heal up LOL.
Cool. Alright, catch you tomorrow. Alright, you too, man.
Philly BOI says, I love you. Chief 10 says, GF. Simther says, THX. Covenus says, Covenus has reached level 57. Aoki says, LF3MM Reen have orb. Cynico IE says, Jet revive me. Holikaholic 2 says, Phoenix is on spike. Cynico IE says, Sova ULT him. Holocaholic 2 says, they are on A. Maddened Max says, fuck this game, fuck Ethereum, and fuck Jeff Bezos. Kato Witch says, Spike planted Z. Achilles Jape 1 says, bye. Achilles Jape 1 says, bye. Maxanty says, the harvesting audio in this game is god tier. Vicky Stack says, I agree on Ethereum. LOL. Holocaholic 2 says, audio for mining is too loud. Crusader says, audios. Holocaholic 2 says, I've smoked quieter shit. Maxanty says, I like it LOL. Aoki says, LF3MM Reen have orb. Maxanty says, maybe I'm just deaf though. ICL0UD says, I can join Amreen in a sec. Holocaholic 2 says, iCloud is a cool dude, I vouch for him. B3TR says, I like Amazon poor. Wilbur Clement says, hi. ICL0UD says, thanks. Silent Rat 1 says, cringe. Keb42 says, how do you repair? Silent Rat 1 says, with your hands. Aoki says, R plus LMB on item. Jonathan Tipai says, Jonathan Tipai has reached level 7. Holocaholic 2 says, open inventory, hold R over item and hit E, or hit repair all in bottom left of inventory screen. Killbot says, Killbot has reached level 10. Filks says, Filks has reached level 11. Holocaholic 2 says, repair all only works on equipped items. Drfail says, 229 in 56 con. Boingy Boingy says, Boingy Boingy wants you over here. Drfail says, con only from armor. Buzz on top says, putting out a ton of DMG. Holocaholic 2 says, each time you die all items in your inventory and equip lose durability, full durability is needed for trade post. Drfail says, armor all con and in it, just faction gear. Drfail says, staff are some green stuff from a dungeon. Drfail says, I also PvP a lot. B3TR says, great axe or hammer. Keb42 says, do you need mats to repair? Nihilis says, GF. Nihilis says, repost. Nihilis says, it's a counter. Holocaholic 2 says, you must salvage items to get repair items, more used for more durability and more rare / higher tier items. Jurgen Fierskin says, great axe for solo, great axe or hammer for group play. Tina says, ah okay. Nihilis says, it stuns for 2 seconds. Nihilis says, and gives me 3 seconds of grid. Holocaholic 2 says, great axe for mobility, hammer for DPS. Jurgen Fierskin says, Great Axe has amazing DPS if you count the second combo heavy exploit where heavy attack hits twice in one swing. Keb42 says, thank you guys. Jurgen Fierskin says, also Great Axe has access to 2 forms of CC. B3TR says, exploit. Just Bro says, world. Jurgen Fierskin says, when you swing GA first time in combo it swings from right to left, if on the second swing, left to right, you have a certain GA talent, that second swing, must be second and must be heavy, hits twice. Rempred says, SEC gotta dismantle. Rempred says, full. Rempred says, SEC gotta dismantle. Remy Vandra says, so assume that is going to get fixed if it's not intentional. Jurgen Fierskin says, the talent is Enduring Strike in Mauler Tree at B3TR. Kaenzo says, I wouldn't be surprised if it's intentional. Jurgen Fierskin says, it's been mentioned many times on forums and I think they once